welcome to the first episode of the Acoustic Yappers Podcast. My name is Isaac and I'm joined by my colleague Connor. How are you, Connor?
Hey, good, thanks, mate. Just chilling.
Alright, well, there's a bunch of stuff we have to talk about, especially currently circulating in the video game landscape. Of course, we're talking about the GTA 6 announcement trailer. It's blowing up at the moment. I think it's sitting around like 100 million views already, which is insane. Yeah, and obviously off the bat with our first episode, with this podcast, we have something to talk about GTA 6. And obviously, I think we just want to get straight into it. I mean, do you want to watch the trailer?
I think so, yeah. If we can watch the trailer and just give our initial reactions, even though we've both seen it.
Yeah, we've both seen it, but we'll see what's going on with this trailer. We'll see what's going on.
Give the people our insight on what we were thinking,
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of pink off the bat. I mean,
We'll see ya.
So right off the bat,
off the bat, the graphics are
insane.
Extremely improved.
I mean, here's my take, to be honest. A lot of people are comparing this to GTA 5, but obviously Rockstar's last game was Red Dead Redemption 2, and already Red Dead Redemption 2 was insane. The graphics and the lighting, they were immaculate. And obviously the volumetric clouds, which I think everyone's been talking about, is going to be making a comeback in GTA 6. And later on in the trailer, there's going to be wildlife. I don't know if you've seen that. Have you seen that one? Yeah. And so it's the whole idea of diversity in wildlife and stuff. And it's interesting because people would say the wildlife in GTA 5 wasn't great. I mean, you had cougars and stuff and maybe boars. But then, obviously in Red Dead Redemption 2, you had individual species and that got differentiated between different variants. And no one's kind of talking about it, which I find interesting. Everyone's just saying, GTA 5 sucked in terms of wildlife. But no one's looking back at the last Rockstar game and being the wildlife there was crazy. I don't know. What's your take with all this?
I mean, I guess it just adds more depth to the game as opposed to GTA 5. There's just more content, more new things added.
Because do you think with the introduction of a more diverse wildlife catalogue, that means
it makes the world more realistic?
It does. And in fact, going off that, do you think the idea of GTA 6 being more realistic might hurt the game? The idea that certain gameplay mechanics become tedious because it's just too realistic?
I don't think so, to be honest. The core of GTA is driving fast cars, robbing banks, shooting people, and I don't know how much of an impact making the game super realistic to the eye is going to affect that, if that makes sense.
But in terms of gameplay mechanics, the idea of say, you're driving, and because apparently the idea is that if the cop system's going to be revamped, so apparently in the leaks, and we actually have the document put up here. I'm not really for leaks, but I guess in terms of if we have to talk about certain details, we'll use this document.
Yeah.
But apparently for the driving segment, or at least the cop evasion, they will track your license plates. Apparently, there's going to be a whole security cam system that's going to be going on. And I was just wondering, obviously that's going to be realistic, but would it be tedious? Something like the GTA 5 cop system was fun. With it was evade, it was almost novel, kind of arcadey. But with this, it's almost going to be a bit more full on. Maybe.
Yeah, I would argue at times that the GTA 5 cop system at times was easy to get away. As in, if you're on 1 or 2, even 3 out of 5 stars, you can just dip down an alley, stay there for however long, and then it just goes away. So, in my eyes, it's just adding another layer to that system instead of more hindrance to, or making it more challenging for the player, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I guess it could introduce new possibilities, at least in the online mode, perhaps.
True.
even more so, I guess maybe immersion when it comes to like swapping between vehicles, even maybe the possibility of changing license plates. Like I said, because it tracks license plates, at least from what these leaks have been hinting at.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't know about you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, it's alright.
In like the roleplay servers and stuff,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's mechanics where you can like put like a fake plate on a car, so that if the cops like try to track your car, or like scan the number plate, it comes back to someone else. So I don't know if that could be a possibility in GTA 6. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's new mechanics which ultimately you want in a game releasing 10 years after its predecessor. You know what I mean?
True.
You don't want it to be the exact same systems and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Exactly. I mean, we only have 2 more years to wait, I suppose. But yeah, it could actually enhance roleplay servers, especially for GTA 6 when eventually that comes about. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, be far down the road, but
in terms of like just the like obviously motion capture, I'm assuming here, and obviously the lighting, the details, and everyone's talking about the hair physics and the cloths.
I mean, yeah, the physics are insane.
Yeah.
With the clip later where the woman in the hot tub like twists her head and you can see her hair like follow the motion. Pretty crazy.
It's gonna be interesting to see, especially even just the cinematics, because I think a lot of this is cinematics, but I feel like it is still in game. I did watch a Digital Foundry's video where it was talking about how a majority of it does look like it's in the engine, which is great.
I'm assuming what we're looking at right now would be like, I don't know, maybe like the start of the game. It would be in game.
Yeah. In fact, there's a lot of theories. Yeah, there's a lot of theories about the idea that even this scene could actually be taking place at the end of the game, and it's almost like a story where she's retelling the events of how she ended up in jail.
I've seen some people
hinting
at that
as well, just to clarify. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that.
Talking
about Lucia. Yeah. I guess that takes us into the story of GTA 6. And I want to know your thoughts about this, because obviously, like, everyone already knows it's going to be based off Bonnie and Clyde. It's going to be surrounding a couple, obviously Lucia, and we didn't actually get the name confirmed of the male protagonist, but we all know he's called Jason from the leaks.
It seems to be Jason.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, how is this relationship going to work?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could go in a number of different ways. The relationship of the two.
The one thing that already comes to my mind is GTA 5's ending, or endings, where it gives you the option to either kill Trevor, Michael, or save all three. And now I'm wondering, is there going to be something like that in this game, but more central to the romance, the relationship between these two characters?
It could definitely be a bit more heavy hitting if it's a couple that you kind of play the entire game with, and then come the end you have to make a decision to, like, for whatever reason, kill one another.
Yeah. Well, that's actually
break it.
Yeah, because I've heard rumors. I don't know if this is in the document, and this could be totally baseless. I should have probably read into it a little bit more. But apparently there was like speculation on the idea that the relationship in this game can actually be influenced by the player. Something like
that would be
like closer. Like they could be closer, or they could be more like distant from each other based on the player's actions. And I was imagining something like, I don't know if you know the honor system in Red Dead Redemption 2, how your character can be more dishonorable or honorable based on the stuff he does. He kills more NPCs or decisions he makes in the story. And so what if it's like a bar at the bottom, and it's just like at the on the left side it's open relationship, and on the right it's closed relationship. Like, I wonder if that's how it's gonna work.
Probably, you never know.
True, I mean,
could make it interesting.
Because for what I've been seeing, Rockstar makes it so that whilst the stories are still linear, they usually approach it so that the story can almost be influenced and changed by the player every now and then. I mean, even Red Dead Redemption 2, with Arthur Morgan's story, like, you have obviously two endings. They're both the same, they have the same outcome, but like you can almost like a different tonal shift, almost like a different character path, where you have one's dishonorable, selfish side of Arthur Morgan, or one where he's more honorable and he's more selfless. I'm wondering, like, what are the possibilities with this couple? I mean, we're already hearing speculation about the idea that Lucia might, or Jason might be manipulating one another. If there might be almost like an element of toxicity in this relationship. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I feel like there's so many different directions that Rockstar could take it. I think what you said about the, you know, being able to dictate or have an influence on the kind of relationship that the two characters have based on your actions is definitely interesting. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. To be honest, what I get from it is just like that. It's obviously taken after Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. I don't know what the word is. How kind of brave, or how, I don't know, just like how far Rockstar want to go with the main protagonist. Because obviously you want them to have a cool story, but you know, judging off the trailer, we'll come up to it. But when they're both obviously doing crime together and stuff, at least what I'm assuming is that'll be the main part of the story, as opposed to, you know, them, their relationship and stuff. It'll be more just like we're together.
Yeah, because that's another point I wanted to bring up, is the idea that, because Rockstar can definitely go in two ways regarding the story. They can go a lot more of a nuanced storytelling way, which they did with Red Dead Redemption 2.
So they can go the way of diving super deep into the relationship and how they're feeling, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, people play GTA to do crime and stuff. So
exactly. So, and obviously, it's a much more of a bigger. I don't want to say it's a bigger IP than Red Dead Redemption 2, but it is definitely, it brings in a lot more people. I mean, I don't know the exact amount, but I definitely know that GTA 6's trailer definitely dwarfs Red Dead Redemption 2's trailer.
100%. I mean, Red Dead is a beautiful game, cinematic-wise, which obviously won't appeal to everybody. Whereas GTA 6, I don't know a single person who doesn't know about GTA 6 trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot more modern.
It's just easy to play. It's a lot more fast-paced. It's very, you know, you get those dopamine hits pretty easily in this game.
Dopamine hits, yeah.
Whereas Red Dead is a bit more. It's definitely much more story-driven, and I don't know, just graphically
Impressive.
nicer game. Yeah. I was gonna ask you though, do you think that Rockstar might have made the decision to create a much deeper story? Because I know a lot of people say the GTA 5 story isn't anything crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think they've seen the people, like, everyone praises Red Dead for its story, and not all, but some people, you know, criticize GTA 5 for not having the most outlandish or deep story. So could it be a possibility that, you know, Rockstar are listening to those kind of things, and it's like, you know, making them lean more into the story side of GTA for GTA 6?
Well, it's actually interesting because, like, the first thing I have to take into consideration is Dan Houser was like a senior writer, like the head writer at Rockstar, and he recently just left.
I was gonna say, he left recently, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But that also makes you question whether or not he was involved with the process of writing GTA 6 before he left, because obviously writing can take place way before development. In fact, I believe Red Dead Redemption 2 script was being developed way before, like the outline story was done way before, like the pre-development of the game. So I wonder if they had a lock on the script, or at least the story, when Dan Houser was around at Rockstar before he left recently. And
Yeah.
if that's the case, Dan Houser was obviously responsible for the previous stories, but more specifically Red Dead Redemption 2. But it's also very much a thing where he might also recognise the idea that it is definitely two different tones for these games. I do know that GTA V definitely takes more of a B-movie action movie approach to this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Whereas Red Dead Redemption 2 is very much this more introspective Western that we come to expect from a lot of Western movies.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, GTA just, in terms of player base, dwarfs Red Dead Redemption in terms of interest.
Yeah.
And, especially in today's age, a lot of people are just there for that dopamine hit, as opposed to seeing out a long, very interwoven, deep story.
Because, I mean, a lot of trophies, I believe the trophy percentage, or achievement percentage for GTA 5, it obviously gets less and less because, less people go through the story.
Yeah.
And I guess if we want to reference another games, apparently CD Projekt Red, when they were developing Cyberpunk 2077, they were looking at The Witcher 3, and apparently they were looking at the achievements based on how many people achieve the story achievements. Obviously that means going throughout the game, completing it, and seeing the story to its end. And apparently it was a very low percentage of people who actually got through the story of Witcher 3. And so CD Projekt Red approached Cyberpunk 2077, the next game, which came out in 2020 now, they approached it so that they made the story...
It's been that long.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Almost...
It feels like that long ago since it released.
Yeah, it feels like the controversies just came out, honestly,
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Yeah,
that game was full of controversies when it was released.
It's like the only thing I saw for like a whole month, honestly.
Yeah, literally. Literally just Cyberpunk.
But going back to my point of CD Projekt Red went to Cyberpunk 2077 and they shortened the story and they made it more digestible. And I think the story, if you just beeline, is 10 hours. Obviously, there's a lot more content from Cyberpunk 2077, especially now with all the updates. And their most recent update, which added a whole metro system, which is crazy.
Yeah.
The point still stands that game developers will look even at achievements, and they'll look at people who are completing their stories or their games, and I guess they take that into consideration when they make these stories, when they make these, at least the main missions.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. It's good.
I was gonna say, I've forgotten. No, so GTA 5, I wouldn't say it was a super long game.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know what the leaks are saying. I don't know if there is any about game length or whatever. But I can't imagine GTA 6 having as long or as in-depth of a story as Red Dead. But I can definitely add more. Let's just say it's the exact same amount of game time as GTA 5.
Yeah.
I feel like if Rockstar, if they wanted, they could make a story that is deeper, is more captivating, whatever you want to say, in the same amount of time, which I think people would appreciate because so many people praise Red Dead for its story.
Yeah.
And like I said before, some people criticize GTA 5 for its story. So I feel like there's a middle ground where they can take the best things of each game, which have both been super successful, and kind of intertwine them into GTA 6 to appeal to everyone, which it already will, but
yeah,
because there'll be some people who really want a good story. There'll be some people who are there who just want the adrenaline of robbing banks and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's an open world, so everyone's gonna have the choice to do whatever they want in GTA 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see whether or not the story because like you have to admit with GTA 5, I don't believe there's a lot of emotional weight behind the way the
Yeah,
story beats.
100%.
So I think they do definitely have the chance of because like in this trailer, like at the end, like there's the scene where Lucia is like the Jason trust, and it's like trust, and I feel like if you don't emphasize the theme of trust, if you're going to challenge that throughout the game, if they're obviously going to start losing trust, or some sort of betrayal is going to happen,
Some sort of issue they have to overcome or whatever it might be. Yeah, I agree.
and going back to that theme, because everyone's been looking at the song choice for this trailer. I believe it's "Love Is a Long Road" by Tom Petty.
Absolute bang, by the way.
Absolute banger. Great.
I'll be honest.
I mean,
I hadn't heard it before the trailer, but after hearing it, I was like, "Ooh, okay."
Me neither. But like,
Rockstar cooking with this one.
they were. They're like they're the masters of just doing trailers. That's the thing.
I mean, it's the perfect song for this trailer.
Yeah, it definitely sets the Vice City.
The Vice City vibe, yeah.
And in fact, I actually wonder whether or not they're going to include the original Vice City theme from the original game into this in some sort of way. I'm not too sure. I don't know if you know how it goes, but like I've been hearing it so much ever since this trailer came out. But yeah.
The Vice City or
the Vice City thing. Vice City.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I'm sure there'll be drawbacks and parallels to the original Vice City game.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've already seen like there are certain locations that look modernized from the original.
Yeah, yep. I think there's the one shot of the just like some strip or street, cars on it.
Yeah, and they had the ocean.
People,
they had the ocean.
Yeah.
That was like the first like.
People like it was just a modernized, what was like a remake of the original.
Yeah, it's not gonna be. Hopefully, it's not a remake because it's gonna be an expansion. Because I think.
Well, of course, but
Because
certain locations.
The state's gonna be called Leonida, I believe.
That's what people are saying.
Yeah, I mean it's literally showing the trailer. I believe in a press release alongside the trailer, Rockstar confirmed that it's going to be the state of Leonida.
Okay.
So I'm very interested in where that goes, and I'm very interested to see the rest of the state. Honestly, I mean, the idea that it's going to be based off Miami, Florida, already, the Floridian man.
You definitely get that vibe from the trailer.
Yeah, you got guys driving across from the side of the freeway or the highway.
Yep.
Got crocodiles wandering into convenience stores and in people's pools, which, let's be honest, is already like a thing that happens over there. So imagine the amount of crocodiles. They're probably going to have like 5 crocodiles in the pool just to amp it up,
100%.
But anyway, going back to the Love Is a Long Road song. I have the lyrics up here, and obviously, like if we were to set this like everyone else's at the moment, it says here that like the verse 1 is like, there was a girl I knew, she cared about me, she tried to make my world the way she thought it would be. It's almost like the song's implying that the female partner in this relationship in the song is imposing like this worldview onto the narrator, the singer.
You could parallel that to Lucia and Jason, maybe.
Yeah.
It's possible she could be forcing him into the crime life.
Yeah, because I mean, she obviously is the one that is in jail at the start of this trailer. But at the same time, like, because obviously, I don't know whether or not to take the lyrics literally, as in like she is the one. Maybe it is Jason, in some extent. But a lot of people have been pointing to the official art, the thumbnail for the trailer, which was Lucia is behind Jason, and she even has an ankle monitor, like a monitoring device.
Yes, I know. I noticed that.
Yeah. People have been saying
house arrest,
yeah, house arrest, exactly. That was exactly what I was thinking when I saw that. And then the people were saying that's a way that you restrict access to the map at the start of the game. Like that's how
yeah.
areas of the map start to unlock is when you get the ankle monitor removed. Yeah, it's interesting, and also Jason, like I'm curious why we didn't see much of Jason in this trailer. I don't know if it's intentional, but something tells me trailer 2, whenever that comes out, I believe it's going to be like 11 months.
Probably.
But trailer 2 is going to...
Unless someone leaks it tomorrow.
Unless someone leaks it tomorrow, which you know, let's be honest, at this point I'm kind of tired of the leaks. Like, the leaks have just been, like, it's, like, you know, you get details here and there, but like now developers...
I mean, the guy who leaked the trailer, like, what was it, like 10 hours before Rockstar were going to drop it, like...
13 hours, yeah.
You just gotta feel bad for them. It's like, what's the point? It's just pointless.
It just doesn't feel necessary.
100%.
At that point, it becomes a question of why should I do this, rather than just, you know, you're just doing it because. Yeah. I'll go double back to the song lyrics for a quick second, because it's interesting because we don't really hear a lot of the lyrics other than Love is a Long Night and the first verse, which I read. There's other things like, yeah, I would wake up at noon, yeah, my head was spinning around, I wait for the moon. As if, like, he's almost dependent on her. Like, it's interesting to see whether or not this relationship's going to become manipulative, toxic.
That's what everyone's saying.
It's because obviously a life of crime, you would think would take a toll on a relationship.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know about you, but the sort of vibe I'm getting is that Lucy is definitely the more dominant one in the relationship, as well as possibly, you know, being the one to be like, oh, let's do this, like, you know, the one kind of making Jason do more and more crime and worse crime.
Yeah, could be that, or it could be
Just what I'm getting from
being the one
the leaks in the trailer, but.
Because what if Lucy is the one that gets out of prison, wants a clean life, but then Jason comes in and he's the one that starts pushing her back into that direction?
I think, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely one of them. I'd be very shocked if it's neither of them. You know what I mean?
Unless they're both kind of like just heading that direction, all of a sudden, the relationship they just start to form starts to weigh down on them, as if getting into this life all of a sudden is starting to make them worse versions of themselves. It's because of this relationship. Like, I wonder if it's going to be a tragedy.
Talking about realism, that's pretty realistic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, if Rockstar, one of the Rockstar writers, just having a hard time, and he was like, "Shit, I guess I'm gonna run my life."
He's running from the heart.
Yeah, it's a first person telling of your events.
High level drug dealer or something, and he started game developing.
Oh god.
I don't know about you, but I reckon we continue with the trailer.
Yes, let's do it because.
Bad luck, I guess.
I mean, already look at the population density.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's been dissecting that shot specifically. I mean, there's the idea of, well, you know, we already talked about graphics, but there's asset generation, NPCs and assets on screen. Like look at all the items and all the NPCs. I mean, there's so much foliage. I don't know about you, but GTA 5, there was absolutely no trees in some of the biomes of Los Santos, and so now here.
It's funny because GTA 5, like before this came out, I was like, actually crazy, you know, how well GTA 5's kind of held up in that regard, and no one really criticizes it for its, you know, graphics, because it's just such a great game. And I mean, the graphics when they came out were ahead of its time, I'd say. But when you compare this trailer to the GTA 5 trailer, it's like, oh my god, there is just so much more to look at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So much more dense. There's so much more going on.
I mean, going back to Red Dead Redemption 2, I mean, we obviously had a lot of forests, which I guess is another thing I haven't seen people not talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, which I feel like already did this type of stuff with dense foliage, so many assets. I mean, obviously maybe not a lot of NPCs because obviously the landscape was a lot more barren. It was meant to almost feel isolating in some regards because there's this natural wonder to the land, and then obviously as you traverse through, you get to see pockets of civilization that are almost like a direct contradiction to like the beauty that you can experience in crossing a map. So I guess they can get away with a couple of things with the amount of stuff that they're able to show at Red Dead Redemption 2, given the time period. But now you're dealing with GTA 6, which is a modern, obviously like today, it's trying to emulate, you know, modern day Miami, Florida. And so now you've got multiple high rises. Like, it's crazy. Going back to GTA 5, there's not a lot of tall buildings. There's a lot of short buildings, but not a lot of tall ones. I mean, directly in the central districts, yes. But here, there's so many high rises.
It's a lot more spread out as well.
A lot more spread out.
Like GTA 5, there's a small pocket of them. There's
just one club, like
yeah,
in the center.
Or Legion Square or whatever.
Yeah. Whereas here, it's insane. Just the amount of people. I mean, let's keep watching. But... nature, NPCs. I want to talk about the water.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing I noticed
Yeah.
when I watched it. The water looks amazing.
Because apparently Rockstar filed a patent for new water physics, and everyone's been coming up. I don't know if that's also in the document, but the idea of surfing as a mini game or activity.
It'd be cool.
It would. I mean, I don't see how it would work. I mean, I'm trying to like think of how that would work in a gameplay scenario. Like, I mean, you just mash buttons, almost like GarageBand, where you just kind of have to like, it's like quick time, mash X at that one time or something.
Yeah.
Because it would be really interesting seeing how you would be able to control a player or one of the protagonists in the water, especially with like a surfboard. It always feels very hard to control almost, but at the same time it's Rockstar, and I mean, whilst their movement could be sometimes a bit better, I mean, yeah, like I'm not the type of person to press toggle, because do you know Rockstar games where you have to mash X to run?
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas I mean, I should probably press toggle to run, but like I don't. But that's just me. You know, if I get carpal tunnel on my thumb, then it is what it is.
It's worth it.
It's worth it for GTA 6. Water physics.
That's what I'm saying. Do you want to go quickly back to the beach scene?
Yeah,
It was a bit discussed there.
Yeah, if we look here, I mean, what are your thoughts? Like,
I mean, again, like, obviously I watched the GTA 5 trailer after this. Well, after seeing the GTA 6 trailer, I mean, just the NPC density.
yeah.
It's just so much more detail as well.
I mean, there's so many body types, for example, the variation between each NPC. Like, it's an interesting point. In GTA 5, all the NPCs are the same height, which is crazy.
Yeah, true.
You don't think about it, but then you start to realize, you're like, oh yeah, he was like 5'6", blah blah blah, like why? And then you look at this and like everyone's different heights, everyone's got different body types, they're wearing numerous different types of clothing, and there's animals like dogs just roaming around, like the little chihuahua.
I mean, even look at the sand, like look at the detail. You can see the footprints and stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Like you can tell like the wet areas, or if someone's just come out of the water, like how sand starts to clump, and it has that almost like more wetter texture that it's just more clumpy, I suppose. That's the best way to describe it.
And there's probably more NPCs on this beach than in the entirety of GTA 5 at once.
Yeah, like just all like even in the what was the Sandy Shores? Is it? Am I just thinking for?
Yeah.
No, like obviously that.
It is
Sandy
Shores.
It is Sandy Shores. Okay, I'm not tripping.
Thinking about Paradise Palms or something, mate.
Yeah, I was thinking of Paradise Palms. What is OG Fortnite done to me?
I know.
But like I said, the amount of NPCs here most likely dwarfs all the NPCs that are even present in that Sandy Shores area.
I mean, they look good as you're right, but they look good.
They look
You know what I mean?
look great. I mean,
Yeah.
we can almost notice like the pores on some of these NPCs just from like a distance. I'm sure if they allow us to get a high resolution video of this, I'm sure we can zoom in and we can see like these insane details. Even close enough. But we'll keep playing it. She said she cared about. This is interesting. Like, obviously, nightlife is gonna be crazy. Obviously, later on there's a strip club scene that has been breaking down. I wonder why.
I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder, right? But there's a scene of Lucia, and I'm assuming Jason is on the left-hand side there.
Sticking his head out the window.
You see his head? Oh no! Like Jason in the driver's seat, but then, as you noted, there's like a car that's in front of them, that's like taking a photo of Lucia or a video. But like I also entertain the fact that what if that's not Jason that's driving the car? Like what if that's just another guy? And I guess that also comes down to what the relationship is, because I'm not too sure. Because I'm not too sure if it's open or if it's more of a closed relationship, I suppose. I mean, they look. I mean, later on they look very intimate, but in leaks, I've seen Lucia's maybe in the strip club, for example. What's the level of interactivity there? Is that going to be something that's an issue between them? Like I said,
as soon as it releases, I'll be the one to test it out.
You'll be the one to test it out. I can't wait to hear the nuances in the relationship dynamic.
I mean, again, you can look at the hair. It looks
great. I mean, it's obviously the car's zooming past, and obviously the hair reacts accordingly. It's getting brushed past in the wind. A theory I have is that the person who's recording Lucia in the other car in front of them is actually part of their team. Like, because if you look at the cars, they're both sport cars. I mean, obviously in Miami, Florida, and GTA, everyone's gonna have sports cars. It's gonna be like common. But like, I feel like it's a coincidence because if you look in the cars in front of these two sports cars, they're all like, trucks, and just normal pedestrian vehicles, whereas here you have two sport cars from what I can tell from the car up close, as well as the car we have the guy with his head out. So I wonder if this is, another accomplice, maybe just another guy part of the gang, I suppose. I don't know if there's going to be more people, but I mean, in the document that we have, there's definitely there's like a guy called Dre that's listed there. There's a couple of others, but we don't actually have any close-up looks for them. So we will start to see more people and more characters just starting to be introduced, especially with more looks at the game. I mean, any other thoughts? I suppose, like theories in the scene, anything that you've seen.
There's not a lot to go off if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Obviously, people will nitpick as much as possible just to try anything. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if she's still on house arrest or not.
Yeah, you know what? That actually is a very good point because definitely.
I assume not, but you never know. She might be a bit of a rebel.
Exactly. Although, from what I've been hearing, Lucia is apparently the smart one of the couple, so maybe she's smart enough to find a loophole and work around the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because we actually don't see the bottom half, so we don't actually know whether or not she has that ankle.
We assume not.
We assume not. But breaking the law is part of GTA, so
True.
Just could be having fun going down the highway. We'll keep looking at this trailer. It's gonna be car meets.
Oh, what a great pause from you.
Great pause. We're at the Make It Rain Mondays.
I mean, the strip club in itself is just, there's so much more going on.
It is.
For who many more people?
There's a lot more events going on, and there's a lot more nuance and a lot more character interactions going on. Whereas, you know, in the other game, you have just people standing around and maybe like a few basic actions here and there. There's so many things happening in this one scene. I hope it isn't just, you know, pre-rendered footage. I hope it's like an actual in-game shot of like what it's gonna look like. Because that looks
so.
just the amount of stuff going on. I mean, is there any other thoughts? Because I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's just the clock. I wonder if this is going to be the only one actually.
I mean, like pretty much everything in the trailer, it's just bigger and better than GTA 5, you know?
It is. It definitely is.
It's what everyone wants and what we kind of expect. So, I mean, it's just proving that, so...
Exactly. I hope we get more
It is a game,
which
hopefully it is.
More shots of this later on. Like, in other pre-release material. Because I definitely want to have a look at all the locations. Because interiors are a big thing, apparently, with GTA 6, from what we've been hearing. The idea that interiors can be more accessible, there's more interiors to explore for buildings. But I hope that isn't just a thing with like GTA Online, where it's like you just walk into a business and it's like an arcade, but there's like barely anything to do in there. I hope there's like actually things to do in interiors, because that would be great.
And GTA 5 is literally just like convenience stores.
It is.
So you're able to walk into, and like the hospital, pretty much it.
Yeah, there's bare bones. Like, you really have much to do in these convenience stores other than just literally rob them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the banks as well, but
yeah,
you know,
it's just
you can only go into those because of missions and stuff.
Yeah, and so that's the idea, I guess. Interiors in free roam. You get to freely explore buildings rather than just look at the outside of the building and just be like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's locked door. I mean, not everything's going to be accessible, but hopefully some things are, and some things have some secrets or like stuff to do inside them. Because at the end of the day, I want this to be content heavy rather than just be a lot of room in the map. Just a whole lot of running, which is the last thing I want.
There definitely are parts of the GTA 5 map where it's like it does feel a bit vast and a bit empty.
It does, yeah. I mean, in some parts, I mean, even just maybe the basic design, even the freeway just looping around the map of Los Santos, it almost feels like you can just get anywhere really quickly, and you can almost bypass just like a lot of other things in the map, and even those things are scarce throughout the middle, especially if you head up north to Centrals.
I mean, and even in Vinewood, which is, you know, outskirts of the city, there, like the houses are nice, but you can't really go in so much, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's urban set dressing.
It'd be interesting to see, because obviously there's a limit. You can't make every single building have an interior that's accessible.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how many different ones there are, and just like, I don't know, how common they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's the idea of multi-story buildings, and I wonder if can you explore all the stories, or are there going to be certain rooms that are locked off? Can you explore a certain amount of stories, or can you just go in the lobby and that's it? You know, can you enter from the top of a multi-story building? You know, if you hop out of a plane and you land on top of a building, you go through like the top. It's going to be interesting whether or not developers are going to be taking this into consideration. But yeah, we're hoping for bigger, we're hoping for better. So yeah, we're expecting all these things. We'll keep playing the trailer. We'll see how it goes. This show looks great, in my opinion.
Insane.
It shows different islands. I mean, this is definitely going to be the type of map where a lot of oceans going to be present. Bermuda Triangle is apparently going to be in here, or at least a version of.
Would be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be the next Mount Chiliad, honestly. Just constant theories about whether or not Bigfoot is at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle, you know?
That's what we really care about. We don't care about the main characters.
No, we just want to know
We just want to know if Bigfoot's in the game or not.
I just want to know if the UFO is down there and whether or not they'll be able to give us the special gun that like nukes the whole map. You know.
You can see some of the new vehicles, the boats.
Yeah, we got cargo ships on the left there. We've obviously got a seaplane. What I also wanted to point out, which I think is a very interesting idea, is the idea of the bridge. That bridge, which looks unfinished.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention that. It looks like they're keeping jumps in the game.
Yeah, stunt jumps.
Stunt jump on.
And then even like it piques my interest because is there something on that bridge that we can access, or is there something to do on that bridge other than just a stunt jump, like to get on and then obviously get off? Is there going to be like a big set piece where you just have to take the cops and the helicopters come after you and you have to jump on?
Yeah.
So many possibilities, you know, and I'm wondering now, like in different parts of the map, is there going to be like these little like areas that feel unfinished, or these like things that like create new possibilities for escaping the cops even? That's gonna be insane. I do like maybe cops can follow you over the ramp. That would be sick.
I think it's not connected on the other side, is it?
It's not.
On the right.
It's not. I think it's like it's an unfinished like bridge, and both ends are like cut off from the road basically. So yeah, I wonder.
I mean, again, the water and the graphics just look insane.
Yeah, it looks like it's very transparent towards the shore, which I think is really nice. Like,
yeah, it looks so.
Yeah, you can almost see the whole reef and all that. Obviously the ocean's going to be playing a massive part in this game. I wonder in terms of underwater exploration, because the last thing we really got from the GTA V is like a submarine, like a mini like sub. It was like the yellow one, I think. Yeah. But the only thing I was really there was like, I guess like a couple collectibles, maybe like a few things, like something here and there. Whereas here, I'm very interested to see how they're going to expand on that, how they're going to really make underwater exploration a lot more fun. And
if it's a big sorry.
No, keep going, please.
Big part of the map. You said, water's going to play a big part. Obviously, if it takes up a lot of the map space, which, you know, we can assume it might, having the ocean as detailed as, you know, above ground. Interesting.
Yeah, it's
the ocean in GTA 5, like, you go down there, there's not much. You know what I mean?
And like there's certain parts where it's so deep that it's like, oh, you can't even go down there. And even with the sub, you know, there's a certain limitation of how far you can go.
Was there a mission in GTA 5 where you had to like put on scuba gear and like break into something? I can't remember.
Yeah,
like,
there was. I believe there was.
I know which mission it was.
It was with the FIB, and you had to jump off like a boat into the sea with scuba gear. I do remember this. I do remember. But anyway, keep watching the trailer. See what else. And you know, everyone's saying this is gonna be the next cover girl.
Everyone's debating whether it's Lucy or not.
I was wondering that myself when I first watched this.
I'm leaning towards no.
Yeah, everyone's pointing at the moles that Lucia had previously in the trailer.
Yeah.
This lady's face doesn't have a lot of moles. Could obviously be makeup, but at the same time.
To cover some and not others though, so.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like. It feels a bit randomly placed even. To have a shot Lucia. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, but the vibe that I get from her is. You know, she's. I don't know, maybe not actually. She's more. She's more like. You know, behind the scenes, just criminal.
Yeah.
Not really.
I guess that's even another thing.
I don't know.
She could be a side character almost, part of like the main missions, like an influencer, because a lot of the social media is that thing.
Does play a big part. Did you want to go back just a tiny bit and just watch the hair here? Because I mentioned it earlier. This scene. Do it from when she like turns.
There we go. Because that looks like a lot of detail.
Crazy. I mean, you can see the background as well, like, pretty
Yeah,
nuts.
the draw distance is insane, especially for the amount of buildings that I see, at least in the distance. You see a plane just kind of like hovering past there. This almost looks like a penthouse, and I'm wondering if penthouses are going to be like a thing that you can buy. Because in GTA 5, you couldn't really buy penthouses other than online. You kind of just have like set areas, almost. Maybe like a couple of businesses and stuff. But yeah, I wonder.
Well, if we're assuming this is in-game footage,
Yeah.
we both hope it is. I don't know, it could be like a meeting place for a mission, you know, something like that. Or it could should just be like an enterable building, and it just happens to be at the top, you know. Be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's like a whole party going on. I wonder if the idea of like you could just you go through the city and there's just like random like parties or like car meets or something like that. It makes just the world feel alive. It makes the world feel alive. That's what I'm trying to get.
In GTA 5, where there were spots where there were missions,
Yeah,
like it was always way more detailed.
yeah,
Opposed to like places where missions or you wouldn't really drive through or you wouldn't really see.
yeah.
So I don't know. You might hope that if they're including this in the trailer, it's because it's super detailed. In turn, meaning that, you know, it could be, as I said, like a meeting spot for a mission or something like that.
Yeah, it could definitely
Or
be. And people are speculating.
Be random building.
Could be random building. Could be random person that never makes a return.
Yeah.
But interesting theory that people have been saying is it maybe about the Instagram reel kind of like social media posts. If you click follow on them, because maybe there's like a mechanic in the game if you click follow, that's like you accepting a side quest.
Yeah.
Or like you like a post if that's like a side quest where you go travel and meet the person. Like
Pretty sick way of doing actually.
Because it's a lot more immersive. It's almost like you're participating in those events or in the world of GTA.
Yeah.
I guess that could also be linked into the theme that they're really leaning into, which is social media.
Because I mean, side quest in GTA 5 was like a question mark would pop up on the map. You go there, you talk to someone. It just feels a bit more, you know, if that's actually a real thing, it feels a bit more natural. Well, I think we'll get to it in a bit, but you know, the guy trying to get the crocodile out of his house.
Yeah, like it's.
You might be able to see that on social media, and then that'll lead to like the side quest of you know, and helping him for whatever reason or something like that. You know,
you arrive to the scene just like seeing it all unfold.
Might be a bit far fetched, but
it definitely could be a possibility. And
you know not exactly, but you know.
Yeah, that's speculation. It's all we can hope for.
Well, people are saying that the social media will play a pretty big role in the game.
It is
for second.
pretty much like a social norm at this point. You know, when you look at TikTok, I know you look at TikToks constantly. You keep sending me to them.
Of course.
All the time. It's part of the culture now, and yeah, I think Rockstar is very smart move in taking advantage of satirizing that aspect of our society.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be set present day.
Exactly. I mean, GTA
present day is everywhere. You can't escape from it, you know.
Yeah.
So it would be no wonder if it plays like, or it has a significant impact on the game. It plays a significant role.
And people have always been worried about the idea that because our world has been becoming so much more absurd, it's so much more closer to what GTA was satirizing, but now that when GTA 6 is coming back, they're going to have a very hard time making fun of us, where we're already crazy to begin with at this point. Like, our world's pretty insane as it is now. And so that GTA 6...
GTA insane. I mean, I guess it is.
I mean,
crazy.
Yeah, crazy is crazy, right? Like, but how far can you go, I guess? There's also I guess, it's not really a worry for me, but people say it's a worry that the idea that Rockstar has really like changed their culture in the workplace recently. Big restructuring, especially reportedly they had a frat boy culture there. They said now they're a lot more open, they're a lot more communicative, obviously promoting equality in the office, which is good. And they have a lot more freedom because now that helps with crunch, or at least it diminishes crunch, which may be a reason for why this game's taking so long to come out. But there is the idea that maybe because it's becoming a little progressive over there, that they're going to lose their edge when it comes to their satire, when it comes to making fun of it. I don't believe so. I think
You'd hope not. I mean, GTA is an adult game. It has adult themes in it.
Yeah, and I think from this trailer alone, we can already see that Rockstar knows the assignment.
They do.
They do.
They've delivered.
They've delivered.
Especially on the screen you're pausing on right now, you know.
Yes, everyone's been talking about it. It's interesting to see what the comments are being on social media. I mean, a lot of people are criticizing what's being shown in this trailer. A lot of people are going off. People trying to ban. I think #ban GTA 6 was trending on Twitter.
I saw that today, actually. It's stupid, but
I don't understand. Like, at the end of the day, like, I think there's an argument that like children should not be playing this game, that it's going to ruin the youth. At the end of the day, I think that's a perennial.
been saying that for years, though. Let's be honest.
Exactly, and I think this game's obviously going to be restricted. Only 18-year-olds, at the least, I'm hoping, are going to be playing this game or allowed to play this game.
No one under 18 will play this game, I'm sure.
Oh, of course, no. No one under 18 is ever going to play this game. But I guess, like, if an under 18-year-old was going to play this game, obviously they have consent from their parents. And if something does happen regarding this game for this kid, at the end of the day, it's the parent who made the choice. I don't want to get into the discussion of like all the ethics of.
So that's a whole different conversation.
It's a whole different conversation.
Back to the trailer.
Back to the trailer. We're gonna leave that one. We're gonna leave that one aside.
Yep. Edit that one out.
That's all of the
social media.
Yeah, like we see comments. I wonder if there's gonna be like a live comment feed that you can interact with. If social media can be viewed this way in game.
Talk to NPCs.
You get to talk to NPCs. That would actually be kind of
cool.
Interesting. It'd be interesting. But like, I'm also interested in how that's going to be handcrafted by the developers, or if they're going to be using AI in some way. I mean, that's been a massive talking point, especially with AI dialogue from NPCs. I mean, Rockstar could use it. The technology is existing. It's out there. Could it be a possibility?
Yeah. I think it's interesting how all the clips they're showing are callbacks to events that happened at IRL.
Yeah, I believe you were talking earlier about how there's the man with the tattoos, which is we've yet to see, but like apparently he was there. Like apparently that was actual thing. I didn't even know this. What else was there? There's a person on top of the car. Apparently that was actually.
Yeah, that's a real clip.
That was a real clip. It's interesting because like I always think to myself like these developers like they also have to go out and they have to take reference photos for like the area that they're trying to imitate, which is Miami, Florida in this case. I wonder if they just either they scour social media and they try to find like what the craziest Floridian stuff is going on, and then they're like, we'll put it out.
Pretty nuts, to be fair.
Imagine the whole side quest of just man grabbing his crush on someone or alligator in a pool, something like that. Like this game could go wild and can go to certain places.
100%.
We'll keep playing this one for this guy.
Well, look who's back.
I'm very interested. And I was looking at this shot of the party scene that's going on here. It looks like I was wondering for a second whether or not the guy who's jumping on the table and landing is Jason.
Don't think so.
Yeah, because now that I'm looking at it and I
Got a
start
bit more hair than what we see later.
yeah, he's bald, isn't he?
Just got a buzz, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like there's an active icon almost here. Now that I'm looking at it, with dancers in the background and stuff. Or just a Gav, just good old Gav.
The only way we're gonna get through this is by
That's a tattooed man ninja.
sticking together,
Yeah.
being a team.
We've got Lucia and Jason celebrating after what we can only assume is the grocery convenience store robbery, which obviously you get to see them entering at the end of the trailer with that iconic shot now. But yeah, I wonder how it's going to be because they look happy in this scenario. Although they did also look very distressed in the previous shot as well. In the car, it's going to be interesting whether or not if things start to fall apart because it's going to be bittersweet. It's going to be a tragedy, or at least it'll be interesting if it is a tragedy.
I'm just hoping we can almost not relate, but just be more immersed in the characters. Because I feel like in GTA V, it was kind of like, you had Franklin, he was cool. You had Michael, he was whatever, and Trevor, obviously, absolute cracker.
No,
But you weren't really like, of course, they're goated characters, but you didn't. In terms of their story, you weren't like, I don't know about you, but I was like super invested in like what happened to them, that kind of stuff. It wasn't an emotional attachment, so to say.
I mean, I suppose I guess there is some sort of growth. Like, I guess Michael comes to appreciate his family and recognise that he is crazy and stops splitting his family. Trevor's just Trevor, and then obviously Franklin, I guess he's an up and comer and he becomes a 2-bit gangster to full-fledged con man like Michael. But there's not a lot of character going on in that. I feel like it's a very surface level at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But we'll continue with the trailer and see how it is.
Trust?
There we go, that's
Trust.
the trust. Very short. Very short. 2025.
I'll mention it.
It's
What's the release date?
It's interesting because, okay, so obviously Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar, released their annual investors call, I think it was, and we're talking about their fiscal year, 2025, I think, and they're talking about how they're going to make was it $8 billion or something? I think they said something about they're going to make an extra $3 billion in revenue at the end of their fiscal year, which is insane. Obviously, you don't just whip $3 billion out of nowhere. It's got to come from somewhere, that being most likely GTA 6. And what I'm wondering is whether or not GTA 6 is going to come out at either between January or March, because the physical year 2025, I think it's 2025, ends in March of 2025. So that means you have January, February, March to release this game. That also being said, the language used in this investors call suggests that it's not locked down. They say they might, or they're projecting. These are terms that where they have a strong idea about it, but it's not set in stone necessarily. And Rockstar is the king of delays, given with GTA V and Red Dead Redemption 2. So, even though it looks optimistic of early 2025, I'm also, I'm prepared for the fact that it might just come out at the end of 2025.
I wouldn't be surprised if they release it like December 30th or something.
Which is insane. But to be honest, it actually kind of lines up. I mean, Rockstar usually releases their games at the end of the year. I mean, the last two were like October, I believe, for their games. So I'm wondering whether or not this trailer is. I mean, the scary fact that it might even come out in 2026, which is insane. I mean, I don't know about your belief of it coming out in 2026, but there is the possibility. You know, I don't want to rule it out.
Hopefully not.
Development takes a long time. I'm guessing with a game this large, the amount of bugs that you would have to iron out, especially you have to constantly play this game to figure out whether or not those certain sections are bugged. And
Yeah.
the amount of cleanup and the amount of polish that you have to do with a game like this on a scale like this, you think that you'd need another 2 years to get this game in a finished state without everyone criticizing it for being an absolute